And that usually means, oh, wait, that means you must be Yeti 3. Okay, yeah, that means that we've got the 1. And we got the 2. Hey, all right. It's a little bit up in your grill, but you know, hey, all right, cool, all right. And yeah, man, back to the run gun TrutherCast live here, folks. I think we didn't turn get that big light. Running a little bit behind here, but I think we're good to go. So make sure to sound off in that live chat down below and let us know if the audio feed is coming in all good. It looks okay over here on my end. I think I got Dan coming in now.
Ding, ding, ching, chong.
Ding a ding, ring a ding, chong. So I think we're all good, but let me know if it is not coming in right. But other than that, I suppose it's welcome back to the TrutherCast, home of the TrutherCast, because we are here to take your truth order. Today, folks, we've got a little bit of truth about the actual halftime show numbers. They have now since come in, and it's quite shocking, actually, in my humble opinion. Roughly 22% of the NFL viewership dropped off at halftime, bro.
Whoa.
That's absolutely bonkers, which means all those people didn't see the ads. So the advertisers are definitely considering maybe they should, advertise on the TPUSA halftime show next year.
Maybe.
We'll be getting into that one. We'll be getting into that one, too. If you are not familiar with the show, folks, we are attempting to not just be two more guys out here complaining on the old internet, leaving you with a nasty taste of black pillory and doom and despair. As the hopium in chief here, I'm going to try and, bring some of the highlights of what is going on and how we are still winning and how I am definitely not tired of winning. Are you tired of winning yet?
Never get tired.
Never tired of winning. I love that, man. Hell yeah. We got Happy Dan back on the show tonight. Amen, brother. So we'll be getting into that one there, folks, for you. But we're all about building a better news feed. So, if you found the show, if somebody shared it out to you, you must have shown some kind of an interest, or maybe you found it on your own because you got a good news feed, right? But we love, building a better news feed, whether it sucks and you need to start from scratch, or, you already got a good one and you're just looking to add some more, of the independent news journalist, the citizen news journalist, like the good old, what is it? Shirley, Nick Shirley, the Tyler Oliverias and the James O'Keefes and stuff like that. So we're all about helping people build a better news feed. And if yours is pretty solid, then maybe, I can show you a few things to help you help others build a better news feed, like the page on our website and all that kind of jazz. But hang on in and you're going to get the full experience. I guarantee you that. If you are a frequent flyer of the show, I do thank you for showing back up here tonight. I thank you very much for sharing the show to somebody last week so you're not a hoe, because Dan will explain all of that to you in just a moment. But thanks for coming on back. Let me know in that live chat down below or the comment box if you're watching the replay because you were late. Let me know what you thought was, a highlight, an interesting point of last week that needs a little bit more awareness. Maybe I didn't cover it, so we'll cover it on the next show. Or if you're live, we'll pull it up right now, man. That's the fun one. But a good way to keep the lights on around here, folks, is hit that join button. Like right down there, it's the red join button. You can join the locals community, hang out with us for free. If you would like to post things in there to help us build the information for each weekly show, you can sign up for the Truther Tribes Primo Squad. You can save even more money if you can't afford the regular price, which is already pretty cheap. But you can use the promo code BetterNewsFeed and get a few more dollars off that one, and it gets even cheaper. But that's one way to help keep the lights on around here, man. Yeah, Wilkins saying, amen, man. Well, who's tired? Who's still showing up? All right. Welcome. So Wilkins saying is tired, but I wasn't sure if she was referring to our not being tired of winning. So she's tired, but she's probably not tired of winning either.
Yeah. I'm trying to not let any of them yawns slip out and affect all y'all either.
Yeah.
I just got hit a little bit ago with a little yawn spell, apparently.
You heard Wilkins saying was tired, and you were like, me too.
Yeah. I yawned before that quite a few times, but we weren't rolling yet. I don't know why, but yeah, something. Well, we were rolling. There was just music.
Well, they say yawning's like a slight lack of oxygen to the brain thing too, or something.
Yeah. I have just teeny lungs, tiny lungs, no oxygen.
When you're in this dust-covered office,
always just trying to get a full gas of air,
right.
Like SpongeBob with water in Sandy's, whatever you'd call it, under the water.
Right.
But
if you have a computer, check out that link in the description box, signup.toleratetech.com. I'd love to be your like-minded, independent alt news kind of guy. That would help you out with your computer. More information on the page, so click that. Show sponsored by me, Scott, your tech guy. Check that one out. Dan loves to tell you how to be totally frugal, though, and there is a free way to help us out, folks.
Yep. Save that money, and that is by using your little finger, and hopefully you have at least one left. And sorry if you have lost some appendages over the years, but use that little finger to just press that little thing called the share button, and then you share it wherever you shall figure is best. And then sharing is caring. And you can also avoid being a hoe because you shared the show. And sharing is caring, and then you can be a non-Karen sharer. Non-Karen sharer.
Non-Karen sharer. That's a pretty good segue already for our first one I had.
I recently had to get a new phone and whatnot just the last couple days, and have realized Rumble has not been installed yet. It really is a run and gun show.
Yeah, man, run and gun it, bro. Ooh, I was about to say it's broken, but it automatically fixed itself.
Until I get that figured out. Google now has double saved my username and a different password, and it doesn't show me in the preview, so I keep doing what should be the most recent one, which works, but it keeps switching them around. So then it says, no, that's the old one, but it doesn't show me that until it
Wait,
makes me run it.
what's this
And so
vote
I
that
have to go delete the old one.
what's this vote that Wilkinsane wants? Where did this come from? She
I
said,
don't know. I
"Is
can't read the live chat and
is
tell them.
I'm gonna tell it to you. Is Mrs. Maxwell actually Mike Myers?" I haven't seen this on the interwebs. You might need to explain this to us.
I am.
I did see something
What's a
about
loss?
people were like, doing the boxes around her face and like checking old photos or something and saying like, oh, it might be like a different like Maxwell. But I'm sure she had a bunch of plastic surgery. So it could be like markings of difference from not following through with lip filler. I was listening to one video in the background earlier. But yeah, interesting. So Ghislaine Maxwell might actually be Mike Myers. Mayday. But back to the Karen segue. So I wanted to just post this one because I wanted to remind everybody that I hate being mean, so I didn't want to post like you don't hate Karens enough, like I don't want to promote hate. So I phrased it, you're not skeptical of liberal Karens in powerful teaching positions enough. Because you might talk shit about some liberal Karen teacher, and then a nice person would go, well, hold on there. You don't know if she's actually being bad or anything. Just don't, right?
We don't want to assume too much.
So then we find out that she is a horrible person when she admits that she called Child Protective Services on kids that attended a TPUSA event.
Going to go off script here and say congratulations, Dr. Newsom. And in the announcement of your position, it was said, we hope you will be more inclusive. I agree. I would like the anti-racism statement returned. In December of 2025, Turning Point USA hosted an event marketed to high school students with food and beverages advertised as an incentive for attendance. While community building opportunities for students are important, this event raises serious concerns related to student safety, parental rights, and governance oversight. Event materials indicated that adults, including parents and legal guardians, were not permitted to attend and that supervision would be provided by unnamed volunteers.
You mean like any kid event that's like not toddlers? To like maybe like what, 10 years old, 12 years old? Like they want to feel like they got away from mommy daddy. So that is a normal thing to do.
I'm pretty sure if she's got grandkids, they're like, yeah, grandma's all right.
Excluding parents and guardians from a student-focused event creates a lack of transparency and undermines established best practices for youth safety. School-affiliated or school-adjacent activities should adhere to clear supervision standards, background check requirements, and define.
Have you been listening to Asman, how he explains the Pokemon evolution of like Karens, and there's like the young girls that don't understand what they're doing, but they're out there freaking out. It's like the first version. And then this version is like the swamp hag, like the final evolution of Karens.
Final Karen.
Right?
You have reached the final boss, Karen.
I'd die how good he explains things in video game analogies, bro. I'd die.
Find accountability structures. I am also concerned about a potential conflict of interest involving Board of Education members serving as guest speakers at this event. Board members are entrusted with fiduciary and ethical responsibilities, and participation in events targeting students, particularly when parental access is restricted, warrants careful review to ensure compliance with district policies, ethics guidelines, and public trust obligations. Students are widely recognized as vulnerable population. They are in critical developmental stages and especially susceptible to influence. For this reason, safeguarding measures, parental involvement, and transparency are.
This is also why you can't get like smart conservatives to do anything, because it's like, I don't want to talk like this. If this is like how we have to talk to conduct like whatever this is type of business. Count me out, bro. I just want to be like, so what are we doing? Boom, boom, boom.
I'm very tight.
It's just like we're going on here. We're going on.
Are essential. All Board of Education members in this room are mandated reporters under state law, as I am. Based on the circumstances surrounding this event, a report was made to Child Protective Services. All of this was provided along with.
Thank you for your comments.
And she is so happy about that. That's insanity, bro.
Some people, I mean, it's very little things to other people, but it's big wins to them, you know?
So you don't hate Karens enough, dude. Always be skeptical of that potentially wacky liberal Karen teacher lady that might be teaching your kids, folks. If you had to just throw them into public school, or you think it's, a better life learning lesson to live through public school than private school, make sure your kids are thinkingly protected or something. But that wouldn't even stop you from this one, bro. She's calling child services on that, man. That's absolutely bonkers. Absolutely crazy to me, man.
Interesting. Water.
Next one, man. I was just gonna knock out the TPUSA summary thing or something.
So here's an interesting little side discovery I just made.
Huh?
If you look up X in the Google Play Store, just X, you think it should come up with X? Good. Nope.
Huh.
It does not show X anywhere in the feed. Maybe it was because I already had it installed, because I couldn't find it first. Like, wait, I don't have X installed on here yet? Wow, I really am behind on getting this thing set up. But I don't know, just because that, but I typed in water, I misspelled it. I fat thumbed it, and it showed up second in the list after Reddit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it sponsored Reddit or just they put it second?
Sponsored Reddit, yeah.
I bet. So they're running against.
Yeah,
that,
Wilkins saying I'm smelling some Austin Gold member type stuff maybe happening there then with the Maxwell. He's getting bored and he's like, that was my favorite part. Sure, I will do it. Yes, say no more. Actually, I will only do it for $1 billion. $3 million? Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. So that does sound like a Karen that might potentially be teaching at our local Hananiga school. I do agree. I've heard bad things about
She
that.
looks like somebody that could definitely been a teacher from around these parts. I wonder.
She looks like a Midwest Karen.
I'm gonna say, it would be really interesting to go see teachers in other, like on the East Coast and the West Coast, and see versus central states, if they really do have a look among teachers kind of to the area, if that's a thing.
Well, that's why they call it the talk to the manager haircut, man. That transcends boundaries. But then there's different dialects of it in different areas, right?
If that changes from coast to coast, or is it always the Karen like that?
Well, wait.
Other different
Wilkinson would be
characters?
our local hair expert, so she might even know. Does the talk to the manager haircut change depending on one of the regions of where you live?
Yeah. And if you can identify the trend line of when that comes in and out, and then you get with a fashion person, you guys are going to be on top of it. You guys will be killing it ahead of everybody.
So you can go to the TrutherCast.com, link in the description box down below, or just type it in. Or you can Google search TrutherCast Live, and I have successfully SEO'd for that. I have now made a blog post that is not just the show receipts, so we can check this out here. And I got to change the name away from receipts on that, huh? But I have made a gigantic TPUSA halftime event summary blog. So if you would like to peruse this, and if you haven't watched it yet, or you feel like watching it again, I've got it linked handy dandy right here for you. Even with, I didn't put the jump code in. The jump code is like 40 minutes or something like that. But anyway, geez, bam. We have curated we have mushed all of the details all together here. And it looks like, long story short, I believe the NFL is claiming about 130 or 150 million views, right? Well, I was listening to Jack Posobiec on the Timcast show, and they were talking about how YouTube America great again. We make America great again. But on the hour Trump clock, you got to do it. So they were saying that on YouTube, their peak live viewership was around like 6.1 million or something, and then like Rumble was like 5 million or something, and then the TV channels, blah 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 blah. So they were estimating about 40 to 50 million live viewers. Okay.
Yep.
So how the Nielsen numbers work, like for regular celestial television, they call it, right? Is basically they just times it by 3 because they have no idea how many people are in the room watching the one TV. So kind of makes sense, but it's a real old school half-butted way of estimating this, right?
I'd say so.
But I guess that works the same for viewing a YouTube video, because like if a bar had 10 TVs and they put on the TPUSA show, like halftime show, they had like 40 people in the bar, that would only count 10 views, right? But if you times it by 3, it'd be 30, and we'd be closer to 40, but still not 40.
Yep.
Whatever, right? But if let's just say they had 45 million views times 3 is what? 135? So they had like 135 million. That basically matches what the NFL Nielsen numbers were. About 130, 150 million.
Yeah.
So that's wacko. The first time they did this, a proof of concept, which they pre-recorded to get rid of the like tear down setup time in between acts, right? And that was what the sync issues were. Because like then there was like a talk shit rumor going around that was like, oh, they lip synced it, like like Kid Rock was lip syncing or something.
Yeah.
Nah, they did have a syncing issue for a moment there because it was a pre-recording, and then they were live streaming that pre-recording video, right? So there's that, right? But like I was saying, 22% of the audience was lost during the halftime show. I don't know if I have the.
And if we go, I mean, that would make sense too on the real math, and not how people think it was. Oh, it was some of the most viewers in all history. Yes, we have the most people we've ever had on the planet.
Right.
So let's do a percentage of the population. See, back with Michael Jackson's performance when he had the 133 million out of whatever, that was a 52 percentile. So it would have been impossible, obviously, if you know math, you can't have over 100% of the population watching different things. It would have been impossible to have the same amount of numbers watching each. But since we did the math and the Bad Bunny one, if it was 135 million viewers based on the actual population compared to Michael Jackson's time, he only got about 38% of the.
Interesting.
Or was it 38 or was
Oh,
it
right. It was like on population.
I can't remember if it was 38 or 40 or low 40.
It was like 50%, I think, for Michael Jackson or something.
Yeah, it was 52 almost.
Right?
Yeah. And so that could make sense, which also is really surprising. That means like just a few percent, under 100% of the U.S. population was watching a TV at that point in time.
Interesting, right?
I bet that's when a lot of crime happens because everyone's distracted.
I bet, yeah. Well, it is, I don't like bringing it up because it's like, negative Nancy, bad vibes. But it is actually the worst human trafficking, child trafficking day of the entire year. Is the Super Bowl, which also goes with the superb owl lore of it's actually not Super Bowl, it's superb owl. And that's like something Illuminati like messaging.
Which is why Drake did his performance that one time with all the
Beyonce's done a few, like,
that would make sense, especially with all the conspiracies
right?
behind it.
And
I'm smelling some more sorcery.
But if you would like, I did make this blog post so you could share it out whenever you see somebody talking ish about the TPUSA halftime
make
show.
sure to go down to the scuttlebutt and reactions.
Yes.
Official on the website, scuttlebutt and reactions.
Amen.
I wonder if we're probably one of the few that have scuttlebutt on their website.
Very few. You don't use that word no more.
Yeah. People need to use it a lot more.
That's what I thought.
I think it's a good descriptive word.
So you can use this right here to share it to them, and it's got summaries. It's got the links right here to the videos and the X post, and then you can politely tell them to kiss your ass. So there is that. So yeah, got that on the website. I'll be sharing it out through the week to try and promote that one. But if you got a second, I think it's like 3 clicks, Dan figured it out. You could help us out by sharing this if you see it on your feed. And if you don't see it on your Facebook feed yet, you should definitely go to the website and hit that Facebook button in the top right corner. And then you can join the Mass Stash of Insights Facebook page. That is the home of the TrutherCast show. And then you could get get us in your Facebook feed, right? So check that one out. Long story short, TPUSA kicked butt. And then they're, rumor talking. I think I might have said it last week, but they were like spitballing about turning it into a whole like festival. So just turn it into a big like TPUSA halftime music festival. Book a whole bunch of bands, and then the headliners are the halftime show. And I was like, yeah, that'd be banger.
That would be pretty dope. Okay, Rumble. Why do you make it really difficult to verify the account?
That's aggravating. I don't have that problem, so it's got to be something weird about your account.
Why? It says verify your account, and it says the only option it then gives you to forward is okay. Like, where's the option verify my account? Like, make a button verify account. That would be easy because I have gone everywhere else and I can't find an actual like link for verifying the account. What is verifying my account, Rumble? What is it? What am I not verified on?
It's poor information, but it's probably clicking a link in an email.
I checked all that.
But like, right.
I just double checked them.
Try and help me remember after the show, man, because we'll go to the website maybe and see if like the account has some information there that we could get it verified.
Maybe desktop website different than mobile.
Yeah. Sometimes before they updated the mobile, I had to go to the desktop to do some stuff for the show on mobile. Okay, I've got a few good posts to remember that you can pull these up on the blog post because like I was on the website before. Go back. Every episode we do now, folks, TrutherCast Live, bang, go to the website, you go to the blog, and now every website will have a blog post with all of the show receipts, boom, right here. So you can pull up all these links, nice and easy peasy, right? Sweet. The YouTube link even works. Excellent. So you can pull these all up, right, folks? Because I've got a series of posts you should remember the next time you're arguing with somebody online. Or you just see them bitching and you can post this. Because I thought this one you should keep in mind the next time you see somebody crying about deportations. You should share this clip to them about what a happy legal citizenship looks like.
Find someone who'll be there for you.
My husband came alone to the U.S. at 16, and he almost died in the desert. And he didn't see his parents for an entire 9 years. You made it, baby. We love you, and we're so happy we never have to go through that again. Congrats, citizen. The way he
looks like a happy story.
Yeah. Seems that way. Quite the story too. Almost died in the desert.
That's
Here
pretty epic.
He is.
But he fought through it all and still went through all the paperwork. Because what sucks about life, bro, is everything's relative. So when you come to America at 9 years old, or what was it, like something years old, didn't see your parents for 9 years, you're like, oh, paperwork? That's nothing. Yeah, no, we'll go through all the loopholes, or we'll go through all the hoops, or whatever. No big deal, bro. Like, this is all we do. Like,
it's not that hard.
and then similarly, the next time you see somebody bitching and moaning online, or maybe you're talking to a friend or family member that is TDS syndrome, right? And they're maybe bringing up how, you know, Obama was so much better. And, you know, maybe they like are bringing up like, oh, Obama never had kids in cages or anything like that, right? This is the one that you share them.
This facility along the Arizona-New Mexico border, at least 1,000 kids, some as young as elementary age. They huddle.
If you're just listening, the video is tagged 2014, and I believe it was actually the straight up AP, man, the Associated Press. So mainstream media talking about Barack Obama during his presidency.
In foil blankets in a country not their own. Captured by Border Patrol agents, they came here illegally. It's the first public look from immigration officials on what might be the country's fastest growing immigration problem. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, nearly 25,000 unaccompanied minors crossed the Mexico border in 2013. So far in 2014, that number has almost doubled to nearly 47,000. Some may eventually be reunited with friends and family in the States, while others may be transferred to private shelters where they'll wait in a country ill-equipped to handle their needs as it comes to grip with a growing humanitarian crisis. Inside the wall.
Humanitarian crisis in 2014. 50,000 coming in. And Barack Obama is what? Just putting the dang kids in the cages. Oh my gosh. They said Trump was the bad man. And he was doing rookie numbers, bro. And he was like the deporter in chief. Like,
yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, there ain't much better way to do it. I mean, there is, but then you're shelling a whole bunch more money out, and things are already cheap, right? You want to keep paying more taxes. Well, I mean, compared to how it used to be, that's actually not that bad.
right.
Like, think about Scarface. The beginning of the movie depicted how it was for the Cubans that were all coming on over into the Florida coast and trying to get in, and where they had to wait while they got their papers. And it was crazy town. It was absolutely, they were running amok, like doing all sorts of crimes, stabbing each other, beating each other up, killing everybody, just because it was, they're wild, and they were just trying to get away from their communist region.
Right.
And well, there's no AC, there's none of that shit back then. And here they are. At least there's AC and whatnot. It's like, it's just a bunch of softies, just a bunch of soft stuff nowadays. But yeah, definitely not like Obama didn't have them in technical cages first. Or like right? George W. Bush was the real first one, and probably Clinton. It goes a while back.
That, we've been saying it, if you're in this side of camp, we've been saying it for years.
Cage, a shed, like if it's not a house and there's a couch in it, the liberals are crying, oh, they're putting them in horrible conditions. Yeah, how about all the other criminals that you guys love so much? How about their conditions then? Why don't you advocate for them to because they might then make the furniture into weapons. Oh, then there's all sorts of dumb problems, and we're trying to come up with solutions. Y'all are just backwardsing the whole operation.
And then speaking of like absolutely handicapped liberal people, bro, some woman burnt down an entire warehouse this week or last week because she like heard on the news that
they might
ICE
be housing the warehouse. Agents.
Turns out the deal didn't go through, and they couldn't like push the paperwork through fast enough for ICE for some reason. And so they never even bought the warehouse. And this lady just went and burned the whole entire warehouse down.
Oh, wow. She's going to feel silly in prison.
Yeah, bro. Handicap, bro.
Man, that's called aggravated arson, I believe. I don't know if it's aggravated, but it's arson for definite.
Yeah, no shit.
And yeah, that carries prison time. I don't know if there's misdemeanor arson. I think it's felony.
Right? Well, it'd have to be like, I started a fire, like everything didn't go up or something, right? Maybe that'd be a misdemeanor or something. Like I lit a bag on fire.
Like, yeah, she went up, no mask, no nothing. Like, wasn't trying, like, just either
Run gun,
zero
bro.
cares, or you're just that ignorant.
Yeah, she didn't really think it through, bro.
Yeah.
She thought me angry, me go burn down.
What are you protesting today? I'm not really sure, but I was told that this dude's a bad guy, so I'm here to follow the other crowd of lemmings. That's how they all are. They don't have that inner dialogue.
I'm here for support. I don't really know what's up, but somebody asked me to support this, and I'm here.
Yeah, they can't think for themselves apparently. So
they also wired me some money, and now I'm here for support.
And like, I need money like for my things, so I'm here because they gave me money.
Right. But as much as those situations piss us off, I do believe that the world is healing.
Yeah, little bits, and there's always some coming in different corners of the world.
So Dr. Kirk Moore, the hero plastic surgeon who faced 35 years in prison for giving saline instead of COVID jabs,
heck yeah,
who was put in prison, I believe, during the Biden admin, had his charges fully dropped.
Man, Pam's really trying to save her ass right now.
Yeah. So everybody was like, there's a win. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody's really aggravated after that last hearing, where they're acting kind of like a pompous, popular high school girl. You're not good.
Bro, did you crashed out, bro.
Yeah. That was
wacko.
It was kind of embarrassing.
They were like, yo, answer this question about, what was it? Is it Epstein files? And then she started talking about Trump, like, turning the GDP up and stuff. And it's like, bro.
Yeah. Have you paid attention? It's the highest, the stock market. They're like, oh, now you're doing what they are doing. The deflection of the question.
Yeah. I was salty about that, bro.
Yeah. They're laughing at how ridiculous some of the questions. Like, we get that. But when you're in there on that seat, you got to be how am I, I'm drawing a blank on her gosh dang name. She's got the white streak.
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
Be like her. Stone cold, cool, calm, and collected when you're up there. Yeah, you can't Gilmore Girl out.
Yeah, and Pam Bondi's supposed to be some she was a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Like she did not hold that together.
Yeah. Well, in what? In a career before this, because apparently this position has just made her go wacky or something.
Bro, she was a lawyer, and she was...
It's pretty wacky what she was up there doing, man.
And I think she was the AG for Florida. And then they got her into this position where she's AG of the whole flipping nation.
So it's went to her head a little bit. She's definitely a little hot air balloon. She's got a little too much hot air up in that head.
I know, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. AG is like the king of the lawyers of that land.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So she was attorney general for all of Florida, and then now she's attorney general for all of nation. I don't know, man. I'm not very pleased with the Pam Bondi, man. I really think we need to find another
but at least she did that. That's good.
Very good.
Letting out saline doctor.
Yeah, Mr. Dr. Saline. Which, by the way, I do believe it was noted that he was doing that by the parents' request. So he was like, so you really want me to COVID jab your kid? And they were like, no, but we have to. And he was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I feel you, ma'am. I'm not really into it either.
And then the ones that are like, yes, they need the COVID jab because they are going to die. They don't get it. Don't you know, doctor? He was like, Darwinism's doing its thing. Well, just like you asked, ma'am. Yep, there's that jab to your baby to fry its little brain like scrambled eggs. There you go. poor.
Lot of research showing that the
man,
mRNA is not good.
Yeah, you know. Oh, it makes sense. No wonder the side's so sensitive about those certain words. It's because they already they subconsciously, the subconscious part of them, their brain realizes that their next of kin is all gonna be just like that, and so they are like, "Don't be mean to him. Like we didn't know, and now it's gotten worse.
Essentially,
Please
yes.
don't be so mean just because we were ignorant." Like, well, calling it how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm just calling the facts out for facts.
Darwin,
But-
unfortunately, doesn't care about your feelings either.
Yeah, but you know, we'll be nice about it as long as everybody, you know, gets castrated or just agrees to wear a chastity belt where you don't keep reproducing that then into the, because it's not gonna fix anything in the future. It's not gonna help.
Probably not.
There's no way it's getting better after that. I don't.
Unlikely.
I'm pretty sure you can't breed that back out. I mean,
you have to try.
I mean, it would be 10 generations of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of possible pain on the way. You know, you might as well just. It was a good run while it lasted, and enjoy it. And I mean, the thing is, you don't have to do that exact thing. You will probably come back anyways, and then you won't have to put somebody else in that same situation.
Right. I was going to say, though, speaking of pain on the way, do we have a lot of pain coming now that we have 330,000 federal employees that have been fired, resigned, or retired last year, and we're not replaced?
It'll be fine.
Have you felt any pain yet?
I actually have felt the opposite of pain.
I felt nothing but pleasure.
I felt like I got a 5-star massage. I'm feeling all sorts of loose.
I feel like this is what I voted for, man. Did you vote for this too?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what we, because most of them,
1966.
for the nerds, there was too much bloatware in the system, you
Right,
know,
yes,
so we had to
yes.
cut some of that fat.
Bro,
I
look
mean,
at this
fat's
graph.
good fuel, but we didn't want to be full like, you know, sludge veins.
Bro, look at this graph. It's kind of going down 2025 and then
Falls off a cliff.
I mean, I guess that's only what is this?
That's some
thousands.
He made some history there, that's for sure.
That's interesting.
But guess what? Next couple of years, it's gonna like trickle right back to like flatlining, and then maybe start making a small,
Which
climb
could make
back up.
sense, you know. Sometimes you just need a, you need a reset. You need a
Well, yeah, right now
retraction.
instead of trying to just cut an animal, you can only cut, you know, so much off of it before like it can't keep living.
Right.
So that's how you got to look at the companies. They unfortunately had 70% of too many, like it
Right.
wasn't working. Instead of firing 70%, trying to rehire 70% to have you. That's
Right.
almost damn near impossible to do as a business. Once you get to a certain point, you're rolling and you have
Right.
so much overhead and whatnot. It's really hard. It's a giant gamble is what it is.
Right.
You're either going way into debt next month or you're going to actually just get by as you were. So the best way, smartest way when business wise is you cut it. You cut it while you can.
It's like
you
a
basically
stop the bleeding kind of
you
thing.
get the last little bits of sellouts that you can liquidate. You kill that entity, and then you restart. You start from anew,
Right.
and then you don't have to filter. All you do is
Well,
look
then
for the right one. I mean, I guess it's still
And then
kind of like per se filtering.
And then ideally you're
But-
just better hiring too, you know,
you're
like,
already
oh,
a step
cool.
ahead.
Like, well, so everybody's comparing this to the whole X thing, you know, so like Elon gets in, he fires like, 80% of the staff or something like that. And then guess what? The app kept working. And then those guys were allowed to do their job without oversight probably of
Yeah.
like a lot of the people that got fired that were gumming up the production of the company. And then they started making the app better. And then I'm sure he's hired more people now by then, right?
Yeah.
Better people to do the job.
Yeah, he
And
is-
less people to be like HR middle
Yeah.
management bullshit, right?
Yeah, he had-
And then guess what? I just yesterday go on X and I go into the like more options menu and it says try the beta Android X version. And I said, huh? And I clicked it and the whole app refreshed and it's an entirely like different app. Like it's a whole different flipping, all the UI and
Yeah.
everything entirely different. And it was a million times better. And I was like, oh my God, they needed to do this like freaking a long time ago, dude. Like, my
Oh,
God.
yeah. Elon had enough money to make that gamble when he carved out most
Sure.
of X.
But-
Also,
But what he
that
carved out
also
was
will-
pretty clear, bro. Like,
well-
they're not helpful.
Well,
Like,
also, I mean, he did switch the name,
yeah.
which was part of the help because it does need when you do something like that. Obviously, it's not
Like
gonna,
a
it's not going to be
rebrand.
the same. Yeah, you have to do the rebrand if you. Well, it's just a better likelihood of success.
Sure.
Also, I mean, there is the little background history of them in the PayPal thing with X and yada yada. So that's kind of cool. But for the most part, if it was just such an iconic brand, so you
Right.
can't just like. I mean, yeah, good, but
Yeah,
it's
he
better,
waited-
better,
he waited
better
a
to
little.
rebrand instead of kill and come up with something new. Because when you try to come up with that, that's the bigger game.
Well, that's
other,
where
other people. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like he pulled something really hard off.
insane.
Yeah.
Like insane. hard,
Again,
bro.
what do you know? The genius pulled off
Right.
some real hard move there is to pull off.
And just like everything, he's not the only one making up ideas, bro. He's probably surrounded
Yeah.
himself with all the
He's
top
not- he's
people he
not
can
just-
possibly find.
Yeah, and he's not just good at the math one. He obviously knows the people and how the companies work and
Like,
smart business.
like he does have a
practice.
degree in rocket science, but also gets help from others.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but like he also just understands a lot of this other shit. He's definitely
Yeah.
not just a book smart nerd where he doesn't understand. He understands and sees the playbook from the deep state. Like he's got some street smarts in him.
Yep, like
As-
Wilkinson
as
said,
a
man, every single
genius
business
nerd.
cuts labor first. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. I might slight pushback on that and say every single business cuts HR first, then labor.
Yeah.
Because like those are
Yeah.
usually the like, are you really doing something that helps the bottom line?
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. You're telling us sexual harassment is bad at work. Yes, we already know that.
Like, got
So-
it.
If something
I
happens,
don't need a
there-
team to
if
do this.
something- If something actually happens to that, the suing is happening with HR letting you know or not. So
Yeah.
we might as well cut the middleman.
Kind of.
And then I'm just gonna make sure none of these people do that. And if they do, I'm firing them lickety split.
Like, do I need 40 people to make sure everybody remembers common sense? Or could we get this done with like 5?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know?
There's a little bit of that too.
You know, do we need 40 people to make sure everybody's feelings are doing good?
I think we're
And then make the managers check in on
a
feelings.
couple years ago. Absolutely, apparently that's seemed essential. Seemed keyword.
Yeah. So I guess the theme of the show is the point of the show. The theme of the show today, folks, is the reason why I do the TrutherCast is to try and help everybody build a better news feed, but also have some mind bullets the next time you're talking to somebody, or the next time you're like online talking or in real life talking, so you can easily pull up the links here to show it. Okay. And I made it even easier by making that blog post, because every episode's got the receipts, folks, because this is the link that I'm going to share for the next week to anybody talking some TDS bullshit on my feed, okay?
Trump's a racist.
Listen to this one. This is a pastor man with an alleged story.
Trump wants to come to your church. I'm like, yeah, right. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, come on. So they sent over an agreement. I don't even read it. I sign it because I'm thinking it's a joke. You know, I signed a little venue agreement. On a Monday, he comes. His team comes.
Well,
Half of the people look like me. I'm thinking, these kids, you're with Trump? What? We're in the hood. I mean, you got to think about it. Look, you have the hood. And then you have the hood. You understand what I'm saying?
None of those white ladies know what he said.
I was gonna say they're all going, and Jermaine or Jermichael or whatever. He's making some great points, right? Cheryl, yeah.
What's he mean by hood and hood to hood? I don't get it.
Yeah, his suit's really nice though. Yeah.
The place we never drive to, right, honey?
Yeah, yeah, that's that place that I never would dare let you take me in the city, right?
Our community, like, you don't stop for gas. It's just terrible.
And the Holy Ghost right in the middle of all
Right in the middle of it, in the midst of darkness, there shines a great light. I mean, I'm in Detroit. It's a Democratic stronghold. We haven't had a Republican mayor in 60 years. I don't think a Republican has come to Detroit since President Trump.
Wait a minute. I'm smelling a trend. How long has Illinois been Democrat? And people it's been getting worse and worse, and more people leave. And I think the whole nation knows the story of Detroit was great, and then it became a shithole.
Right.
I'm smelling some similarities.
It's when
here.
they ripped out all the freaking manufacturing jobs.
Oh,
too,
it
was
was
the start
when
of
it's
it,
when
right?
they started having Democratic
Well, that
politicians
too, right.
as leaders for a couple decades now, and look what the results are.
Yep.
Crap, poor crap,
and bad water.
Friday, the campaign says, by the way, Pastor, we want you to be a part of a roundtable. I don't even know what they're doing. Nothing was pre-programmed. Nothing was planned. He comes in, the most authentic person. Because in my community, when older white men get around black people from my community, because it's so polarized, not like the South, the President Trump, he wanted to be around black people, and black people, they could tell, they know that.
What I believe he said there that they clip jumped was they act awkward, because then he explains how Trump acted. So I think he was explaining, like, when old white men get around black guys, they'll like act different or be weird or something like that, right?
Nostalgia. There's like, yeah, well, obviously I'm white and you guys are black, and well, you guys know I'm past, and so you guys probably don't like us, and you know,
Something like being weird, right?
Yeah, and it's like, how about the whole reason we abolish those things is because we see you just as equal, like unless you do me wrong, it doesn't matter the color. Like, if you gonna want to be a homie, you a homie. If you want to be a brother, you're a brother, homie. It doesn't matter. We're all, we all can be good.
I just hate
they
that
have
when
different cultures. I think also for some reason that those older guys are the ones that like seen the World War II shit. So it's just like, I can only be a hard boy. There's no other way to do it. There's no way to sag your pants. We didn't bring this country up, doing any of that, so they got that nostalgia to them.
Sure.
And it's like, France, it's just cultures being, you ever heard of hip? Yeah, no, you haven't, other than your hips got a click in it. Okay. So hip is a whole nother thing of cool. I know you're lacking a little bit with the pleats in your pants. You can get the update.
Well, they learned about groovy.
So it's just people stuck in their time of culture, I'd say. When you try to like that's why the melting pot is fun. The blending is where the fun happens,
right?
And why America is the greatest place, because when you blend all those flavors together, you get happiness and all sorts. You don't get to be just happy in what you know. You get to be happy in something you never even knew. You discover a whole new feeling.
Enhancements, right?
Oh my God. I sound like such a hippie right now.
I hate that I call everybody brother, and I'm like, okay, brother. Oh yeah, no problem, brother. But then when I say it to a black dude, I'm like, oh man, I hope he don't think I'm trying to like, oh, I'm like you, brother. Like, nah, dude, I say this to everybody. Turns out we all talk the same kind of, okay, like,
yeah.
Here, back to this one.
And he wasn't socially awkward. Then he says, "Will you pray for me?" Trump, he wanted to be around black people, and black people, they could tell, they know that. And he wasn't socially awkward. Then he says, "Will you pray for me?" People were yelling his
exactly before they said it.
I was trying to
normally
explain
do. You explain it before it explained itself?
I didn't get that the first time I watched it, so I was trying to set it up so that you would understand it.
Oh, because it's just all right.
So I didn't get that the first time I watched it.
He wanted to be around black people, and black people, they could tell, they know that. And he wasn't socially awkward. Then he says, "Will you pray for me?" People were yelling his name. So I'm a preacher. I'm in my church. I'm sitting there. They're chanting Trump. I said, hold on for a second, guys. We don't even chant Jesus like that. We gotta be careful around here. They're chanting his name. They literally sang happy birthday to him. It was unreal. I thought maybe there would have been a couple black people there. We have about 400 people there. Our church is about 600. We have 400 people there. 70% were black. The media, the lying media, I never thought the media would lie. They said it was nothing but all white people there. They just lied. It was crazy. He said, Pastor, why don't you pray for me? And I just pray for protection.
You pray for protection.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, why did he pray for protection? That would have been a good next follow-up question.
Well, because he got everybody gunning after him, right, man?
Well, why?
I'm sitting there, Trump, right? Well, he did. He explained it. Maybe he said the media lies. The media said it was all white, all boo, bad stuff, blah blah blah, right? So, I pray for the protection of our representatives that are on my side.
Yeah, that's what needs to be explained to the people watching their show, because obviously they wouldn't get that.
Totally. So I thought that was a real great clip, man, because not only does this guy, describe an interaction with Trump coming to a hood black church, right? But then he also explains how the effing mainstream media literally lied about it.
Yeah.
So this is a great clip to keep in the chamber, man, when you need a post to share to somebody crying about some TDS crap, or you're talking with a friend, family, coworker, something, man. This is a banger. This is going to be my go-to for this week, man. I'm sharing that one whenever I see somebody crying about some TDS nonsense.
Yeah. Man. Coming right from his mouth. The media lies about the coverage of the African American show out.
I know, right?
At the hood events that Trump shows up to.
And I guess it's President's Day?
It is President's Day today, yes.
Did he actually get on the time? Did they finally put him on that, or was that old? Did I forget that? Or is this AI?
Yeah.
He said, I was hunted and now I'm the hunter. Amen, brother.
It sounds like a real quote that'd be from him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the White House, so I feel like that'd be an official.
They just be posting stuff, dog. They just be posting now. So sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, bro, here's a great example. Bro, these guys running the Edmund Social are so on point. They said other countries don't like what we did in Venezuela. Big whoop. Listen to this.
Didn't like what we did in Venezuela. That's okay. That was in our national interest. I'm sure there's something he'll do one day that we don't like, and we'll say, hey, we didn't like you did this. So what? That doesn't mean we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be partners. We're not going to be able to cooperate with one another. Countries express their opinion all the time. We have very close allies that didn't like what we did in that regard. I can tell you what, it was successful. We're proud of it. It was necessary because the guy was a narco-terrorist, and we made him a bunch of offers, and he chose to tore them out. And look what's happened in Venezuela in the 6 weeks since he's been gone. Okay, it is now it's got a long way to go. There's still much work that needs to be done, but I can tell you Venezuela is much better off today than it was 6 weeks ago.
I think I saw a little headline flicker past that said they sold $1.5 billion in oil since Maduro was captured. And it's like, I can't wait to see the graph, bro, because graph go up. Can't wait to see the graph on pre-post Maduro snagged, bro.
Yeah, man, Marco Rubio, he's really that speech at the Europe conference.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to that one next or something, right?
That dude's
yeah.
He's killing it recently.
Yeah.
Some might say he's winning.
More winning.
So, we're very proud of that project. And, I know some will disagree and didn't like, but irrespective, I think everyone can now agree that Venezuela has an opportunity at a new future that wasn't there 6 weeks ago. A lot of countries...
Totally, man. But I just thought it was funny, bro. Department of State posted this, and they're like, a lot of countries didn't like what we did in Venezuela. So what?
Yeah, what are they going to say about it? You
Like,
ain't gonna
just
say
cry me a river.
nothing, because if you say something, we might just send the boys over there and do what we just did there, and y'all don't know how to do anything against it. That's the thing. You're gonna try poking the bear. the bear gonna lash out, then you don't know what to do once the bear lash out.
Right? It's just kind of like cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it, bro. If you didn't hear it yet, he did a speech at the Munich Security Conference, and oh boy, does little Marco sound like big boy Marco and more presidential than ever. This is a clip. This is a full video of his speech, 21 minutes. So I'm going to like skip through it a little bit. But if you haven't heard this and you're into this stuff, I highly recommend pulling this one up. If you can't find it, we've got the link on the website. That link is in the description box down below. All the show receipts, every show, all shows, all receipts.
An alliance that saved and changed the world by what we were fighting against. We were unified, but what we were fighting for. And together, Europe and America prevailed. And a continent was rebuilt. Our people prospered. In time, the East and West blocks were reunited. A civilization was once again made whole. That infamous wall that had cleaved this nation into two came down, and with it an evil empire. And the East and West became one again. The United States and Europe, we belong together. America was founded 250 years ago, but the roots began here on this continent long before. The men who settled and built the nation of my birth arrived on our shores carrying the memories and the traditions and the Christian faith of their ancestors as a sacred inheritance.
A lot of the intro is like a history lesson, but real good, real good.
Automation and flex manufacturing, creating a Western supply chain for critical minerals not vulnerable to extortion from other powers, and a unified effort to compete for market share in the economies of the global South. Together, we can not only take back control of our own industries and supply chains, we can prosper in the areas that will define the 21st century. But we must also gain control of our national borders. Controlling who and how many people enter our countries, this is not an expression of xenophobia. It is not hate. It is a fundamental act of national sovereignty.
Okay, we're getting into the good part.
And the failure to do so is not just an abdication of one of our most basic duties owed to our people. It is an urgent threat to the fabric of our societies and the survival of our civilization itself. And finally, we can no longer place the so-called global order above the vital interests of our people and our nations. We do not need to abandon the system of international cooperation we authored, and we don't need to dismantle the global institutions of the old order that together we built. But these must be reformed. These must be rebuilt. For example, the United Nations still has tremendous potential to be a tool for good in the world. But we cannot ignore that today, on the most pressing matters before us, it has no answers and has played virtually no role. It could not solve the war in Gaza.
Created.
Instead, it was American leadership that freed captives from barbarians and brought about a fragile truce. It has not solved the war in Ukraine.
Created.
It took American leadership in partnership with many of the countries here today just to bring the two sides to the table in search of a still elusive peace. It was powerless to constrain the nuclear program of radical Shia clerics in Tehran.
Created. Then he goes through the whole list, bro. This is a great speech. If you're into this stuff, definitely go watch. Everybody's talking about it, man. Everybody talking about, oh man, it seemed real presidential. He delivered it great.
Yeah.
When he came in the room, everybody was clapping. Like for some reason, they all like Marco. And then during the speech, they stopped him like 3 times to do like, we really liked that. We're gonna clap you out.
They started clapping before he's even done making his point a few times.
Right.
Him as VP and Vance as president, or him as president and Vance as VP again, would be a great duo.
I don't know if they're going to run against each other in primary, like the fake run against each other thingy, right?
Yeah.
I can't stand that pony show, dude. But it does make sense in a kind of, it gives more stuff to talk about and market for technically. So they got to like fake be mean to each other, and then they all just select a guy at the end of it, right? But in my humble opinion, he's got no chance against a JD Vance because JD Vance has got more social clout, right?
Yeah.
So JD Vance made a book, he made a movie, and then the kids like, he's on X, he like shares funny things. Like he's a little more like millennial down to earth or something, but maybe that's just my bias, right? Because like I fit to that kind of demographic, right? But personally, I feel like Vance already vice president. He should clearly be the dude that runs president. And we got to set up a chain, right? We got to have a chain. We talked about this when we first won the election, right? So how do we have a chain that's going to continue the torch of Trump, right? How do we keep the whole like movement going? And how do we keep it going upward and not have a flop, right? So JD Vance president, Marco vice president. That seems like a banger to me, man. What do you think in the live chat, man? Like what you guys think? And then you set up him to be president and then somebody else, his vice president. And now we're talking, if we get JD Vance in for 2 terms, that's 8 years. Then can we get him in for a term or 2? That's another 8 years. Now we talking long term, bro. We need to have like a long plan here.
Dude, him and that, yeah, and JD and him, and then him and Tulsi Gabbard.
Bro, right? And then can we get the first female president in?
Yeah.
I don't know how old Tulsi is, bro, but if she hang in there, maybe she'd be the first female president, right? Like
make Hillary roll in her grave.
I mean, honestly, bro, like real talk, if you're gonna get a woman president, everybody talk about how we ain't ready for a woman president, right? I think the best way to get a female president in the States is she got to be pretty badass, dog. Oh. And now we got female presidents all around the world now, man. Like what was it? Just recently, Japan. I guess they really? Like some of the posts were a little bit fake news, and I didn't go and grab the real thing, so I didn't post about it. But they made some big announcement like yesterday or 2 days ago or something. But I believe the president is a female there. But they said we're shutting down the whole special treatment for Muslims coming into the country and or living in the country, and they're not going to offer special halal meals and all of this, and that. It was like, yo, look, dog, you're here. It's about Japan, so like if you're thinking about, flipping our culture, kick rocks, so it's pretty base.
So like we're not going to pay for your specific way
or
of
pander,
like,
right?
We'll pay for you to survive. Not, I mean, that'd just be like, oh, like I exist. You can't just pay the bare minimum, like for me to have a tent and stuff. Like I'm existing. I at least need a gold lined marble, suite in the whatever one of them fancy,
in the cage.
No, whichever one of them fancy hotels are down on the strip in Vegas. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Not a Hilton, but yeah. I can't. I'm drawing a blank on every single one of them right now. But yeah. I demand the top, necessity, like what a king would get. That's like my bare minimum that you have to give me for me to survive.
We'll give you a meal for being an immigrant, but I ain't gonna make sure it's halal, bro. Sorry, just eat the damn food.
that'd be like a full, willing, able, bodied male, and there's all these animals all around, and you got plenty of guns and a bow and like spear, whatever your weapons of choice, and you're just like, well, so I'm not gonna get the food myself, and so somebody's got to get it for me. Then somebody's got to cook it, and well, I'm not gonna cut my food into smaller bits. That's peasant work. Somebody's got to do that for me, and then they're gonna put it into my mouth, and I might have to. Have
we got it. We don't need to go down the whole entire version.
This is people in America nowadays that think they deserve everything.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't even get anything.
But we're talking about Japan,
other
and
than
Muslim.
We're not kicking you out, and you're in America. There you go. That is the most you need.
Hey, they're still giving $2,600 to get your ass
milk
out.
And honey, you have to go get it though.
Yeah. The Nick Shirley drop from this week wasn't very coverable yet, I don't think. But definitely like shout out to Mr. Nick Shirley. If you want to go, if you haven't followed him yet on YouTube, you should definitely do that. But his new video was going through Skid Row, and he came across a mom, dad, and a kid living in a tent that came here illegally 2 years ago from Colombia. And they said that living in Skid Row in California is 1,000 times worse than living in Colombia. Where in Colombia, many people will tell you it's a place where you just don't leave the house with any of the things that you don't want to be stolen from you because you're probably going to just be mugged. So why would they say it's 1,000 times worse living in Skid Row in America illegally than living back home in Colombia?
And that's because you're a foreigner. If you're there, I mean, you could still maybe get picked on, but then the whole town knows everybody.
Well, I was going to go back to your point.
There's that you end up just having to be accepted that they're not going, as long as you're working in
No. You had it figured out earlier. It's 1,000 times worse living in Skid Row in California than it is living in shithole Colombia because it's a Democrat big city.
Yeah.
like a Michigan or whatever.
Like
Detroit, Michigan.
Like Chicago.
And then, bro, I'm sorry, bro. You got planed in by the a-holes that just wanted your name there to vote illegally under your name for themselves. And now you're in a shithole state, like city in a shithole state. Yeah. So like if you could maybe take advantage of that $2,600, fly your butt back to Colombia, hang out there for a little bit, get the paperwork filed, and come back in here to a red state in a red city, you might have a good time.
Yeah, you might actually be able to go somewhere.
Do the legal thing like that guy we showed the video of earlier. You'll have a nice time, man.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing all right for himself. It looked like he did not live in a tent in Skid Row.
It makes it a lot more emotional for the piece of content. But I have not watched one of these videos where the person gets their citizenship and they open it up where they don't cry. Like these grown ass men, they're like, bro, like this was I took a lot of effort to get here, man. Yeah. Like, golly.
There's few times where a man will cry.
That's one of them.
That's big loss, yeah. Or there's actual open opportunity for something.
Bro. Yeah. Because now you've secured your family here in the States. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal, bro. That's a big deal. Speaking of shithole Democrat cities, have you heard that Chicago's flipping red? I think we've covered this organization a couple times on the show before.
Those town hall meetings have been pretty lit over the last years, ever since they tried that COVID crap.
Right.
Everybody started getting real pissed off.
And so because of that, they've actually formed a group called Chicago Flips Red. And they have had enough, bro. This lady said they aren't paying the taxes and they aren't voting blue no matter who anymore, and asks Trump to send the feds in to audit the city and find out where in the heck that money has gone.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, bro. This needs a share, folks. If you're not going to take the effort to share anything else out in this show, in my humble opinion, you should share this one out. This is from good friend of the show, Mr. Ron Yates, who you should definitely follow and subscribe to. We'll give him the subscribe on the TrutherCast channel. But you should definitely follow this dude. He got good news infos. But this one, man, you got to share this out, folks. You need people in your timeline, in your feed, seeing that this is going on. This needs the awareness so more people can come to their realization, man. Check this out.
Revolt.
See, y'all sit here too comfortably, thinking that everything, black people stupid, that we don't understand what's going on, that we gonna vote blue no matter who, and all y'all gotta do is use a race card. All y'all gotta do is call white supremacy, the white man.
I love this so much, bro. I gotta back it up, bro.
Yeah, they're bringing.
I love this.
Yeah, that was.
I love this so much.
That was December last year.
I love this so much.
Starts to drain out the room. So this is why people are calling it a total revolt.
See, y'all sit here too comfortably, thinking that everything, black people stupid, that we don't understand what's going on, that we gonna vote blue no matter who, and all y'all gotta do is use a race card. All y'all gotta do is call white supremacy, the white man. But we're in a heavily Democratic city from top to bottom, state and city, all Democrats. So can we say that the Democrats are racist white men or white women? Who is it? Because this is what y'all telling us. So I'm letting you all know, Chicago flips red. We are not paying these taxes. We are calling for a boycott on these taxes. Nobody is playing this game no more. We won't pay our taxes until we get a forensic audit on where all our money is going. We're demanding that. We're asking President Trump to send the feds here.
30 seconds.
The DOJ here. We need a forensic audit on where our money is going. We are not paying no property taxes, and we are calling for a boycott. And we're going around to every ward in the city and calling for it. You all gonna learn to stop playing with us, and you all gonna learn that you all work for us.
So this is why people are calling it a total revolt. Because when law enforcement stops pretending, when they stop playing along, when they stop smoothing things over for City Hall, that's not politics anymore. That is a total failure. And so here's the key point that most people miss. Police, they don't do this lightly. They know the risk, they know the pressure, they know the consequences. So when they draw a line in the sand, this pretty much tells you something serious has gone wrong at the top. And that brings us to the very order that lit this fuse.
You're accounting for these massive pension debts, which the yearly budgets that the city passes doesn't.
It's just like effing Cali, bro. 41.1 billion shortfall. Like, what? Where'd the money go, man?
Remember what happened at the last financial audit of the budget planning?
Well,
remember
for the Pentagon, where it's like, all that money's missing or whatever.
No, the Illinois one, the Illinois budget.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was Pritzker saying we just passed the highest budget we have in history.
Right.
Yeah, and it's because he keeps saying, "Oh, we need more and more money.
Need more money. Need more money.
Yeah.
Up the gas tax.
I can tell you where
tolls.
a lot of it went. Look at his belly, right there.
Don't really account for, although they do spend billions to even tread water for the pensions, and you've got borrowing that the city has somewhere around $19 billion. But how does Chicago compare to other cities of its size?
So Chicago's interesting because accounting rules are different. When you compare New York City to Chicago, New York City, by state law, because in the 70s they were so close to bankruptcy, the state law says New York City has to put in the actuarially determined contribution for their pensions. However, Chicago, when you look at their financial reports, they do not include they don't include the school district. New York includes everything. So if Chicago were including the same thing as New York, Chicago would actually be in a much worse shape if the school districts were included.
And certainly we cover CPS as a separate bodyguard. We know their financial struggles are significant. Okay.
This all started with one move, an executive order from Brandon Johnson aimed directly at immigration and customs enforcement. So the order didn't just criticize ICE. It didn't just posture. It put Chicago police right in the middle. It told local officers to document federal agents, to preserve evidence, to prepare cases. In other words, it asked city cops to stand between armed federal agents and a political agenda. This is not symbolic. This is
right, bro. Like 100%, dog.
CPD will not arrest and cannot arrest federal agents.
That's it. No drama, no ideology, no loopholes. He made it clear that CPD would not interfere with ICE, would not detain them, would not pretend federal law suddenly stopped.
There goes their plan.
No shit, Sherlock. Obviously, Brandon didn't get the message, the mayor, that you can't Uno reverse card on federal law enforcement.
It's all lip service, bro. Like, they know that, dog. It's all lip service for the stupid crazies, right?
They call it worthless.
Are ignorant and all the sheeple that don't know any better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
They called it reckless. They warned that it could put police officers in legal danger. And that warning matters because unions exist for one reason: protection.
I'd love to ask you, do you plan on enforcing the mask ban on federal agents? Is that clear?
Yeah, when you take a step back from that, that's the issue of the day. The reality of one armed agency approaching another armed agency to create conflict over something that would be a misdemeanor at best or an infraction, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a good public policy decision, and it wasn't well thought out in my opinion.
So when a police union says this could get our members charged, that's not rhetoric. That is a red alert. They accuse Brandon.
Bro, 100%.
That one cop slithering in the back, he needed to take a chill pill and have a little more happy thoughts in his life. You know which one I was talking about?
No,
back
I was
there?
paying attention to the main topic.
Oh, the other that looked like probably main detective to the left. That dude's poor. I guarantee he's got a son or a couple, and if it's daughter, he probably is way too lenient on her. But for the kids, oh, you can tell in his eyes, those kids can't do anything halfway wrong. Even like he can know if a cricket's twisting his legs wrong, like blocks away. That dude, you don't get anything past that guy. His poor kids, dude, they don't get to have any fun. He's on top of everything. That dude just, yeah, no, I don't miss. And smells like you walked through a cloud of weed smoke 10 blocks over. I can still smell it on you. He looks like he don't miss nothing.
I had a friend that had a dad cop, and he must not have been like that because he still got hooked on heroin.
I mean, not all of them. That dude, though, you can tell, like, he was just like, he didn't miss nothing. Nothing.
So the point of it, folks, was that Chicago's flipping red still, and definitely a good one to share out, man. Share that one out because everybody got to know Chicago's done with it, bro. Time to flip red, bro. Just like the rest of Illinois should. Oh, wait, most of it already has.
Well, it just got to keep saying it because if we don't, I mean, then if it goes blue again somehow, next turnaround, we're going to be like, well, what the hell?
Yep. And then we have to wait a whole nother time.
You guys paying 63 cents at least of that gallon directly to Illinois to get laundered into wherever.
Dude,
probably
that's what I
right
gotta
into Pritzker's Happy Meals every day.
I gotta make automatic posts that be posting out on our Facebooks for like Darren Bailey awareness or something, man. I talk to people and they say like, oh, there's another guy running, and oh, they might like him better, and I'm like, who is he? Oh, I don't even know, and I'm like, this is how dumb we are, bro. Like what do you not like about Darren Bailey? None of that matters really. Like the older you get, I guess the more you realize this. None of that effing matters if he's the only one that's got the most following behind him or notoriety and marketing already. So like maybe the other guy's better, but at this point, I think you need to just go with whoever's got the biggest chance of overthrowing the tyrannical one that we want to get out.
Or we can make it like even higher than Trump and Kamala, where all the votes are for the two Republicans and there's so little votes for the one Democrat voting. Really sends the message that we're done with the crap. But that's somehow we gotta.
But if you're on Facebook,
Democrats,
you gotta join our
wake up.
Facebook page so you see these posts and it's easy for you to share to somebody. And if you're still a chicken little ninny and you don't share it on your public feed, at least share it to friends and family and people you talk to in a private message. For the love of God, if you don't share this stuff and you don't help with the awareness, folks, we're gonna be in the same fucking place that we were.
Yeah, it just sucks that we even gotta like, if we could even just leave Democrat and Republican out of it, just vote for this guy. He's actually gonna do stuff that makes it better for you and your family.
I mean, that's how my brain works.
Not as Illinois is, not as like anything. This guy is going is actually got integrity and gonna do smart moves in a position of power that can make things a lot better for us in a real way. And he's not a politician fugazi here.
And life is,
oh wow, that's great. The guy's name, like Republican, Democrat, it don't matter. It's just whoever is going to do something better for us and our families in this place that we live. Let's stop labeling things so specific because that just seems to make human brains just, I can't decide. I can't see clearly.
But you
I
do
have to be biased towards the side.
But you do
good and
need
evil,
that
right? There's good and
because-
evil, so there's two sides, Republican and Democrat. No, like the only two sides there are to anything is a good and evil. That's the only
essentially.
That's the only black and white.
Which
you
is-
could say like opposites. Of
Which is what
something
we
in
need to be
culture we
really
should
aware
worried
of
about.
because they've been flipping from Democrat to Republican and running under Republican and saying they hold all the values of the Democrats. And so like the next election's coming up, bro.
Right.
Like the next
Again,
like 5,
again,
10
screw the
years
Democrat or
are going to be
Republican.
like that.
Either they're good or bad. Who's
So-
going to do good for our people, or who's actually saying they're doing good but actually doing
That's
bad?
a great point because I know absolutely nothing about Darren Bailey other than he's literally saying, I'm completely against JB Pritzker. I'm completely against all the taxes that he's screwing us on. I like God. I pray and like, hey, if I get in, I'm going to start a Doge and turn Illinois around. Like, I don't know actually other policies of his.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, so you're anti-Pritzker. Sounds like you're my guy. Like, you know.
Like, great, super good start.
Then I found out that he talks to Donald Trump, and I was like, I bet you should be pretty solid, at least somewhat.
At least you know business smarts, hopefully. I mean, Pritzker does
Better
too
than
for how to enrich himself.
Right. Or his cronies,
Not the company per
But to
se,
extract
per
wealth
se, the state
from
of
a system.
people.
So I would call JB Pritzker the, venture capitalist of governors, right? He's really good at buying the company and then extracting all of the wealth out of it and turning it into a zombie company that just slowly dies. That's kind of like how I feel.
Just look at him, and I think that theory point's correct. Yeah, because there ain't nothing left of that cow except its bones.
Hell no.
He ate every last piece of calorie off that cow.
Speaking of politics changing, the tides are moving, and the infectious disease called
TDS,
patriotism, the good one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you call it when it's a good spreading thing. What's the opposite of a disease? I don't know, right?
A healthy growth.
The ideals of your country, whether that's America or maybe it's Britain, is spreading, bro. Because it looks to me that this dude is basically saying a bunch of Trump stuff about Britain, and he has started the Restore Britain Party. And he just announced it, and they got like a whole bunch of signups, and it seems really legit. But this guy, he just seems like a guy, but he's saying all of the things that we be saying, right?
Because places like this represent what proper Britain is about. Hard work, responsibility, effort, duty, stewardship. This is the England I know, and this is the England that I love.
Okay, yeah, it is in England. I said mega. Make England great again.
On a farm, you don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations, in what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party. I'm now going to dedicate my life to finding, organising, funding, and providing hundreds of qualified candidates to present to the British people at the next general election. This process has already started, with invitations being issued to patriots in aligned political parties, Reform, the Conservatives, the SDP, Advance, and more. In local politics, we will work in partnership with local...
If you're American and you don't understand a lot of international stuff, did you hear how many different political parties he named?
Yeah.
So it's actually strange to have only 2 political parties like we do here. Now, technically, you have libertarians, and then the Green Party, right?
Well, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives. Those would be the easiest 4 to name.
Liberals is a political party?
Oh,
Libertarians, you mean, right?
I mean, I'm putting the liberals in their own bubble nowadays. But
localized political parties,
okay,
such as Great Yarmouth First, that have the best interests of their residents at heart, combining our forces at the next general election. The men and women standing for Restore in that election will not be politicians. I promise you that. They will not be failed ministers. They will not be tainted by failures of the past. They will be from business, from the military, from science, from medicine, from education.
Oh, you mean get like people from actual fields of like doing work in production and building things, like
experts in those said, sectors of life, and then have them make the decisions since they're actually qualified to do so.
and in the position to do all those things to make something change.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Trump thing, right? Businessman. Then he got RFK Jr., like medical lawyer man. Then he got the Tulsi Gabbard. She was like a military lady. Pam Bondi's not a total hit for all of us. Like, we're not loving it, but she was a big lawyer lady. Like, get the people that do those. It's like logic, man. I'm not like a big mega business success, but it seems logical, man.
Yeah.
We're tired of these blowhard politicians, dog, that are like career politicians not doing shit, dog. So I just thought this was cool international politics, man. God bless this man for trying to do something, man. But basically, long story short, my point of this was it literally sounds like he's doing like, all right, bro, someone's got to do the Trump playbook over here, bro, because we're falling apart, man. Like, we're falling
It
apart.
must be a family farm of generations because he's got the coin to do what he's saying. He's a farming don't make you rich. That had to have been money from generations built up.
Yep.
And he said, I'm putting my generation's wealth on the line to change the course of Britain. Hopefully my name will be remembered as such.
And this dude says all the things that you want to hear.
Healthy shirkers to live off the back of hard-working back into work. A radical overhaul of how welfare is delivered. Protecting those in genuine need, but not funding healthy shirkers to live off the back of hard-working men and women. If you can work, you must work. It really is that simple. Restore Britain will be abundantly clear. If you consistently refuse work, then you will lose your benefits. We will punish indolence, and more importantly, we will reward success. We will provide vast economic incentives for men and women to start businesses, generate opportunities, build wealth, and create self-sufficient families. Standing here today on the farm, I know exactly what it means to deal with energy bills, labor shortages, regulation, unproductive paperwork, planning restrictions, tax, and endless uncertainty. The state has definitively become the enemy of the people. Restore Britain will burn away suffocating taxes on work and enterprise. We will slash unnecessary regulation. We will dismantle bloated quangos and the overbearing HR culture. We must crush parasitic Britain. We will restore long-term, stable, logical policy so that businesses can plan and invest and grow again. But Restore Britain is about much more than numbers on a spreadsheet.
Bro, heck yes. This is amazing. We need this shit to spread, bro. And like, if they can pull that off, bro, if one of these countries can pull this off, I think the only one the only one that's not failing right now is like Poland. It's the only one you hear about. But if these guys could lock this in and turn over like Britain and fix it, it's going to spread, dog. Like, other countries are going to, wait a second, hold on, They're kind of trying to do it with the one woman in Italy, but I haven't heard too much outcome of that quite yet, but.
I have one thing on my brain, and that's what a quango is.
It's about who we are as a nation and who we are as a people. Britain is not just an economy. Britain is not just an idea. Britain is not just a passport. Britain is a nation. Britain is a people, our people. And Restore Britain will...
Yeah, so it was pretty good. There's one where, I don't know where it is. He had a couple bangers in there, bro, where he just says it like it is. Pretty awesome. Yeah, Wilkins saying mega Make England great again got started. It's up to 38 million views. That's pretty good.
We need to save the croissant. Oh wait, that's France.
That's the France. But pretty cool, man. I would love to see the patriotism and get rid of the bullshit ideas us spreading. This also made me think, man. I was listening to some story trying to go to sleep, and they were talking about like how a lot of the like businesses get the benefits of taxes started back over in France, where like the business robber barons or whatever they were called, right, went up to the king and was like, yo, so check it. You're going to get rid of all these things that screw our businesses and take my money, or we're basically going to kill you or start a revolt or something. And then the king's like, yeah, I bet, man. So here's all these benefits to like big, wealthy business owner peoples. They were like, all right, cool. And then that was kind of like the beginning of this, perpetuity of, the big companies are getting the bennies through the government or something like that. But it kind of made me think of that, bro, because what this dude was like quite literally saying was like, yeah, dog, we're sick of getting screwed. We're going to come and change this. And we're going to put the benefit back into, rewarding production and rewarding growth, rewarding the creation of business. Sounds like a great idea, man.
Yep. Definitely sounds like it's a playbook that's been played and was successful before. Why not do it again?
Right, dude, until hijacked and stuff, right? God dang.
Instead of reinventing the wheel, just do what has worked in history before.
So I was confused on how this actually happens, but amazed, and I thank God of the outcome. But I'm just trying to figure out how in God's name is Tom Homan's team finding over 3,000 of Biden's missing kids that crossed the border. That like 300,000 missing kids, right?
Yeah.
How are they finding them in Minnesota?
Them Somalis are pretty good at driving their free paid vehicles all the way down to the southern border and driving them back up.
And then I'm shocked. How is this not in the effing mainstream headline news? Like, yo, dog, we just found 3,000 kids. In what? Like, bro, think about this. Hold up.
Maybe they're worried about Nick Shirley's life.
They're
they're gonna say he started all of this.
We're talking about Tom Homan, okay? So he's the Iceman.
Yeah.
Why is the Iceman that for 2 weeks we had a whole epidemic about people trying to freak out and stop the ice people from going into Minnesota because all the ice people are all so bad, right? So how in the F is this bad when now the outcome is this man talking about how they found 3,000 missing effing children in the state?
Because they're going to rip those kids from their families.
Bro, so you're telling me that Tom Homan goes in there to like, oh, I heard there's some fraud going on and some possible criminal aliens. And they go, oh, shoot, look what we found. 3,000 of the 300,000 missing children, bro. So this puts the number up to they've found about 340 something thousand out of this 300,000 now, which is bonkers. And if anybody's ever watched any Taken movie,
so more than what was pronounced,
it's almost 150. So almost half of the tracked missing children that crossed the border. It was like 140 something thousand, like say 147, 149. So round up, it's almost half of the tracked, like the ones that we know crossed the border and then became missing. So then how did they become missing? Why? And then reminder, if y'all forgot, we covered it during it all happenings. But, bro, they were flying people everywhere when they were letting everybody into the effing border, bro.
Yeah.
They were flying them, bro, you get a plane ticket, you get a plane ticket. And they were just flying them everywhere to all of the sanctuary cities around America.
And it was probably just suitcases full of kids, like Wayfair. Just
bro, like send me a cabinet? No, thank you.
Probably not, though. It gets really cold in the bellies of those planes up there. The kids
Absolutely
might not have survived.
I cannot believe that this shit is not what's covered on the news.
And public safety threats off the street. ICE here in this state have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration lost and weren't even looking for. That's because the leadership of President Trump, these children were located.
Yeah, bruh.
Nothing that can make Trump look any sort of good. Which is why
share this out, folks.
Which is why TDS is running rampant.
Share it out for the love of God. More people need to know about this, dog. So the evil, horrible ICE people that went into Minnesota found 3,300 kids, bro, that were completely missing and unaccompanied. Like, bruh, that's a big effing deal.
Just a lack of news and like listening to the Truthercast, because I mean, people are still saying, I'm not going to hear it from the convicted felon and, you know, rapist. And okay, so y'all talk about dead naming and stuff like that. How about making a rumor that's not true that could possibly totally ruin somebody's reputation?
Right.
Was it convicted that he's a rapist? Nope. Was he a convicted felon in any of the other bits of it? Oh, they dismissed the cases.
And he's appealing the one where it was sexual assault on E. Jean Carroll. And it looks like he's probably going to win the appeal.
Did they actually? Is that the one that they said he was guilty on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guilty on the sexual assault. Yeah. It was like a watered down version of sexual assault.
Well, and if anybody was paying attention to the case, it literally made zero. How the hell they could have convicted him?
There were so many holes in it, bro.
Well,
and then
it was a hired jury, is what it was. It was a very manicurely picked jury.
And Trump's team has a part in that, but still, I feel like it was kind of swayed, right?
Yeah. Trump's in the files. Yes, of course. The guy that called in, was the only guy to call in about Epstein back in the day. And
did we cover that
start
last week?
The investigation, essentially.
Did we call that? I don't know if we covered that one last week. I didn't even put it on the feed, or it was this week. But basically, the new dump of files, because there was 3 million, then they dropped another 5 million. But we finally got the data that literally shows that he was the first one to call and blow the whistle on the whole damn thing, bro.
And his statement was like, I don't know how I'm like the first one because everybody has been knowing this has been going on.
I think we did.
I'm the first one to actually talk about it.
I think we did cover it last week because then also he said, yo, you guys got to look at Ghislaine. Ghislaine is the actual operator. And it was like, yep. That's what I have figured out from all of my research on it as well, bro.
Ghislaine's questionnaire.
Ghislaine's dad.
The last week or two.
Ghislaine's dad worked for Mossad. And then she learned how to be like a crazy person.
Was that this past week or last week?
Which one?
Her interview. I am going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Yeah, that was going around this week.
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Right.
Wow, y'all thought you were just going to like, we're going to get her now. Like, as you see, somebody that knows the law is showing how it's not that simple.
Right.
Well, you think you got them? No. This is why evidence is such a big thing.
Right.
I forgot what it was. Somebody kept going, oh, the evidence. They had nothing of that. It was all just, somebody said, I seen it. Okay, can you produce any form of evidence that makes it? No, but I know he did it. Okay, so obviously you don't understand what evidence is.
That's why I can't believe that Trump got even charged guilty in the E. Jean Carroll thing, dog. Where it's like, there's literally no actual evidence at all. It's all hearsay, bro.
Yeah.
And we're talking like tens of 20s of years ago. Like, bruh.
Which, unfortunately, here's the thing about those rape cases. If any victims come forward and unless they can like have a picture of him at some place that she could say that was very specific and like whatnot of like where the crime might have happened, whatnot. It was generally when you get raped, you go get a rape kit done, and there's only so much time after because obviously it happened. And so, well, it's been years, so that is an impossible thing to do a rape kit. So then you can only act like if they're actually going to prove with beyond a shadow of a doubt and be able to like where you're not possibly ruining somebody's life off bullshit.
Right.
How can you prove that? Rape is like one of those things you're going to more than likely it has to get alerted early and some has to be done sooner than later.
I mean, unless you got like a chain of documentation and then
Well,
maybe some like
photo evidence
a
of
bunch
something.
of people that say it or something, like a whole
a bunch of people that can prove with physical evidence they were at that location, that talking happened at that time. Otherwise, it could all be made up.
I know, right?
Consters are consters. Obviously, we know how phone spammers are. They're really crafty. They're getting all the old people on the scams. It's pretty easy to trick somebody sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
And ask me, I'm a gullible freaking person way too many times I like to admit. So, like, no matter how much you want to, you literally, unless you want to put yourself out there to be sued for defamation, you cannot say he's a rapist, really. There is, like, literally almost no way until somebody, all these talkers that say, oh, I have evidence, I'll put him away, is show some physical evidence. Get the proof. Get all your colleagues there. Make a solid case because nobody's been able to bring solid evidence.
That's
to
what's
the table.
difficult about that, bro. Is like that shit happens to you, and there almost is no way to prove it, right? So we got to come up with some way to make it to where it is scary to do that crime because you could get caught, right? Because like, how else are you going to deter people from doing bad act in like a sneaky way?
You have to report it early. That's what it is. You don't. I mean. Because almost you could look at it as,
but the argument is though, bro, is that it was back then they couldn't say that because it was such a man's world. They'd just be like, "Oh, shut up, broad. Yeah, you probably deserved it." So that's the tricky part about that one too.
There was plenty of other rape cases that went through, so that's you could say that, but again, okay, so you didn't try. I hate to steal man, but okay, so. Can you really say it messed up your life that bad to where you couldn't have done something else, like you couldn't have been successful in your life in other ways? If it was that bad and you really thought it was that way,
that's a way diminishing of the actual event.
Well,
the event is traumatizing, neither whether you continue to move on or not. Like I know old women that had happened to them in their life, and it literally is just well, you forget about it and move on, and you keep it, but doesn't make it okay. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't have some kind of laws that try and stop that.
Kind of the thing of it. So if that happens, there's nothing that can undo it.
Right.
It's either that person ends up, getting their justice,
but
and
justice does make one feel better, bro.
Yeah, and then it should. For some, if they put themselves into where that justice, it will hopefully happen through the empowerment of them not empowering themselves at all to get it done.
Well, right. But what sucks is that just people took advantage of it, and now it's like ruined that, like then the women that go off and say this and then it's not true, then you ruin it for all the real women, dog. So like I've said that one before to several people and bitched about it online. It's like all the fake cases, bro, ruin it for when some bad happens and we do need to listen to this and then we need to go into the court case.
It's like your second chance at courage. Yeah. You didn't have courage. Well, you didn't. I mean, you might have courage. So you didn't have the skill set or whatnot to be able to have that not happen in the first place.
Yeah, but it's difficult when you're a weaker person that's in a controlled situation.
Obviously, that's why I said skill set. Well,
Computer's having a brain fart.
Yeah.
Let's see if we come back from this one. Oh, are we good?
Did it just lag out for a second?
All right, I think it just lagged out for a second on our end. Yep, but that one's crazy, right? No good segue on that one, but it was Valentine's the other day.
Mhm.
And the CBP just wanted to make sure, to celebrate, Valentine's Day. Don't wait. Self-deport today. Spend this Valentine's Day with the one you love. We'll even give you $2,600 to take them out.
Yeah. Just a weak society. Weak society we live in nowadays. Well, it's actually been a long time. There's always a bunch of weakies.
This is hilarious, bro. And then we got one coming in from Doge, too. Roses are red. Budgets were tight. 273 contracts gone. Powered by Doge oversight.
Yeah.
So I love winning in the form of Valentine's Day limerick.
So is Doge actually still going then?
So Doge is 100% still going. It is no longer a separate entity. It was melded into the Treasury Department.
Yeah.
But there is
no
still a
Doge
team
tracking,
of Doge.
No tracking of Doge savings anymore.
Yeah, no, they just removed it from that national debt clock thing website. But here we got another update. Over the last 4 weeks, agencies terminated or de-scoped 273 wasteful contracts with a ceiling value of $5.1 billion and a savings of $1.4 billion, including a $6.7 million DHS consulting contract to review the current organization, analyze findings, and provide industry best practices and customer-centric strategic recommendation support to transform and optimize the organizational structure and function. It's like some jargon somebody wrote down on a piece of paper to try and get $5.1 billion over 5 years, bro. Like,
I mean, why not? And Letitia James obviously was able to get a bunch of money just filling some paperwork out willy-nilly.
right, dude.
And not get any consequences over it. So.
Oh, she's in court right now. We gonna try and get that winning too, all right?
Yeah, she hasn't seen shit yet, though. Only feeling a little bit of heat. It ain't much.
She doesn't believe that she's screwed. And then,
now, if anybody actually looks into it, it's definitely not for sure her being screwed. They're already weighing on her side of things.
I know, right? But your new favorite content creator from the other week,
No, he's not new.
like R to us, because I wasn't watching this stuff, right? But another one came up, and I thought this was entertaining.
I saw your post about Trump and Epstein with the caption, Trump knew. Exactly, highlighting how Trump was aware of Epstein's activities for years. And I love how you even included Trump's actual quote. Everyone has known he, meaning Epstein, has been doing this. That's his actual quote, right? Okay, so now I'm wondering, now that this important fact, like the actual quote, is literally in the files, what are you and our Democrat representatives doing to hold him accountable? What do you mean you can't? Okay, hold on. You're telling me the quote is from a phone call that Trump made to the police reporting Epstein. Let me take a look at the files myself. Wait a second. Trump called the police and told them, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein. Everyone has known he's been doing this. He even told the police Maxwell was Epstein's operative.
Yeah, here it is.
She's evil. And that they should focus on her. And you don't think there is anything wrong with the Democrats literally cropping his quote to imply that Trump covered it up when he actually reported it? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, he makes great ones.
Oh, dude,
He makes great satire.
we need to download the video so like when you send it to a TDS person, they don't know what it's about. And they think it's like for their side.
Yeah.
And then like they like slowly and then the realization comes in.
Yeah. It's not going to go.
I might sign up for
Not
the
gonna go well
$5 a
for
month
him.
club if this guy started making videos of real life TDS patients watching his videos and watching their brains start smoking.
That'd be pretty entertaining.
And the hamster like really like kicking it up in there. Like I might sign up for the $5 club just to watch those. That's golden entertainment for
I
me.
won't. I'm too frugal, but that would be good entertainment.
I'll share you the password.
I won't use it, but thank you.
And for this one, I said, remember to grab this one the next time you need to explain how the allowance of junk food to be bought with SNAP jacks the prices for everyone. So RFK Jr. gets 18 states to cut Pepsi and Doritos from SNAP. And what do you know? The prices are cut 15%. How weird.
Yeah, have you noticed all the naked Doritos and whatnot coming out recently?
I have no idea what that is.
They don't have the dyes in them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
Oh yeah,
cool.
you wouldn't know. You don't go to you don't go to any peasant regular people's stores for your food.
No, bro, it's Costco and Woodman's. That's it, bro.
No, Woodman's not even this. This dude is part of the upper echelon. Only us certains can shop here. You only shop here if you're rich. Everybody else that doesn't shop here is just goeem. That's what it feels like walking around there.
Hopefully we're not hacked, Conspiracy Logic. What up? Welcome back to the show. I'm still trying to remember who the heck Conspiracy Logic is.
I don't know.
I forget which homie. But yeah, bro, prices got slashed after RFK Jr. got 18 states to cut Pepsi and Doritos off the SNAP. So another example of when we go, oh my God, why are the prices so high? Like I would call it fraudy kind of stuff, right? But what it is this one is actually like, just giving away junk food for free. So then, companies are like, well, if all these people are just, using government tax money to buy our stuff, might as well bump the prices because all these people just keep buying it willy-nilly. Because, shit, if you got free money, why not buy the junk food? Hey.
Yeah, why not buy stuff that doesn't do anything for you?
It just tastes good and is not good for you. Does not give you any sustenance or anything. Just like I also heard a one-off, bro, that they found like 3,000 homes they found like 3,000 or 30,000 homes in Minnesota that were bought with fraudulent money to make like an elder daycare or a daycare for kids, and the houses were empty. And it was all used with, taxpayer funding.
Surprise.
So, like, another example of, like, oh, I wonder why the housing market's wacko right now. It's because people are using tax money to just buy all the houses up, like, in the Minnesota area. That's ridiculous. So I said here, well, us truthers that live in Illinois certainly had our tinfoil hat theories, right? But now we may have evidence being discovered of election rigging right here in our home state of Illinois. They said the voter roll database investigation revealed over 2.5 million votes cast before voters were even registered. So, like, how the hell does that work? I am a bit of a food snob. Aldi's pretty legit, but I never go there. For some reason, I hate that place. I don't know why. But my whole family is like, love Aldi's. Yeah, cost don't matter when you didn't work for it. Amen.
The first election I voted in was Trump's. I've never voted in a midterm. I've never voted.
What?
I have never voted in a midterm election. Ever.
All right.
I've never voted in a primary. Ever.
Tell us that again.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so what we see here is someone voted in your name for a midterm primary, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 presidential elections. You're saying you did not vote in.
I can tell you, and I'm a bad, I can tell you I'm a bad patriot. First time I got involved in politics with President Trump, that's my first presidential election. I have never voted in a midterm. I have never voted in another presidential election. This is all a lie.
So
I am so upset.
So we're looking at 2 presidential.
And I want to know what they were looking at. Was this like they're on the inside voting team or something and doing this? Because when we were speculating of stolen election, this last one, right? Or the one before, the like Joe Biden one, right? After I voted, I was like, oh man, I bet these dirty Illinois Democrats is throwing my vote out. I'm going to go and look, and I want to see that little check mark on the website that says I voted. Long story short, Illinois is one of the states that literally does not show you at all, does not have a public system for you to check if your vote was counted.
What do you know? Sounds about right. Sounds how you make sure you can fraudulently pick whoever's voted into office.
All is crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's only one reason for that.
Right. Well, yeah. Just absolute, like, tomfoolery of like handicapped ignorance.
Yeah.
Or on purpose fraudulence, like.
I mean, when all other states are like that and they talk with each other, it can't be ignorant.
Bro.
Unless it's selective ignorance, which means you're into something you shouldn't be doing.
It's like it's like a system, bro. So like if the data's there and you're counting the data, you should be able to just produce this and show it on an effing website, bro. So like, I mean, we're biased, but the only thought I had is if you're not showing that, it's probably fraudulent. So I would love to know who the hell I voted for. Also, I voted for the first time President Trump too. I was a bad patriot. I did not vote at all. So I would not be very shocked if I found out that, like that woman, I've got a bunch of marks for I voted in shit before I ever voted.
Yeah. Yeah, because I definitely missed a couple. Not too many.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I voted at least the last 3. Yeah. No, I voted 3 times for sure.
Yeah.
In the presidential election, anyway. Not counting other elections.
So this one, I was thinking, I love following up on stories that have passed the news cycle to find out how it's going, right? Because, it flies out the news cycle and it flies out people's memory. Yeah, nah, bro, don't tell me I voted for Joe Biden, dang it. If I found out that they voted for Joe Biden for me, damn, that would be ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to have to go to Aldi and check out the mango cheese, Nil Tamir says. What up, Nil Tamir? How you been doing, buddy? Where you been at, brother? But I wanted to come back to the news story. Mr. Tom Homan now reports that Minnesota has fully caved. So weeks of a bunch of, bravado and showboating and, pushing back on ice. And now all of a sudden, they've caved.
Attorney General Mayor Fry and law enforcement officials about increasing coordination in a lawful way between the county jails and ICE to avoid public safety threats being released back in the community. While we had our differences, one thing was clear: we all committed to public safety for all who live in the Twin Cities. We have made significant progress under the direction of President Trump, working with state and local officials here in Minnesota, and I expect that to increase in the coming weeks. We continue to have discussions. I'll have discussions this afternoon. We currently have an unprecedented number of counties communicating with us now, and allowing ICE to take custody of illegal aliens before they hit the streets.
We have an unprecedented number of people communicating with us.
Getting way too many freaking calls that they need our help.
And letting us come in and just guap up the bad guys out of the jail, bro, so we can
low
export
key,
them.
this is a hiring commercial.
Unprecedented cooperation. And I'll say it again. This is efficient, requires only 1 or 2 officers to assume custody of a criminal alien target rather than 8 or 10 officers going into the community and arresting that public safety threat. This frees up more officers to arrest or remove criminal aliens. More officers taking custody of criminal aliens directly from the jails means less officers on the street doing criminal operations.
And bro, this is like a misstep on like the Trump admin. They need to like make this a big deal somehow. Like get this out there and get this viral or some shit, right? Because like, you know, them blocking the ICE in the first place and getting all the agitators and the protesters, right? That shit gets eaten up by the news, and then that's what everybody hears and believes. And then the news cycle dies, they cave, we go in there. But everybody remembers, oh, Trump and ICE bad. Oh, Trump ICE bad. Trump ICE bad. But then, like, oh, come to find out, everybody caved. Trump ICE good. All of a sudden, ICE is coming in and just cleaning out the jails, getting rid of all these criminal aliens. Like, shit, man, we got to somehow promote that idea so then people go, oh, wait, I guess it was wrong before. Trump ICE good.
Yeah, somehow get that message across to them types.
This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement. It's safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien.
And safer for the Karens, bro.
Safer for the Karens. Hell no.
God. Yeah, if you just let ICE come in and pick up them criminal aliens that they are getting paid to do, safer for everybody, including the Karens.
Whether they know it or not,
I
can guarantee they don't.
I think this is the one that I was going to use as like a anchor title topic, but the lamestream media experts are stunned after Trump economy doubles the expected jobs growth at a whopping 130,000 for January. So like the numbers came out, bro, and it's just like all roses, bro. Down 34,000 government jobs, but up in overall private sector jobs, right?
Oh, sounds like making Britain great again.
You know,
he was saying get rid of that gobbledygook that we don't need and promote small business creation and
Yeah, bro. Mainstream media. This is not the report we expected. So seems like economy good, graph go up. Very interesting. And then alongside with that, it's interesting that jobs are up, economy's starting to kind of go up when we have the lowest murder rate since 1900. I have no idea if this is a real fact, but the alleged claim is that it's the lowest murder rate since 1900, and it's by Secretary Kristi Noem. So I would imagine this is not like a off the cuff, thing to say here. So under the leadership of President Donald Trump, the murder rate has plunged to a 125-year low, with especially steep drops in cities where the DHS law enforcement undertook targeted immigration enforcement and crime prevention operations. Our nation has also experienced a steep decline in fentanyl deaths, which have dropped over 30%. The graph looks like fell off a cliff, like the opposite you want to see in your 401.
Yay.
So
less fentanyl.
Is that a coincidence that we have record job heights, jobs going up, economy starting to go up,
I mean, one
and the
thing
crime went down?
Also makes sense. Less fentanyl means less people die, more of them getting jobs and also working because they're not slumped.
One would hope, right? Yeah.
They're actually doing something instead of just being a bump on a log.
Like a reformation of addicts.
Yeah.
Something that everybody could usually get behind, right?
Man, make America sober again. No, we never were sober. That's how this came about. It was kind of some liquor that did it back in the day. It definitely helped.
You're right.
Booze definitely might have been part of what made the United States of America.
So Niltamir in the chat, he said, I think all elections were rigged, so Trump had to cheat in the rigged system to win both times. So let me explain it to you in my humble opinion. So Trump won the first one against Hillary Clinton because they literally under cheated. So they were so hubristic and they did not think that Trump would get enough votes that they did not cheat enough. So let's say they were cheating 3-1, right? So every one Trump vote that would come in, they were thinking, oh, we're going to make 3 up, right? That didn't work because Trump came in at 5. So cheating at 3 didn't make enough. Trump got 5 votes in, and the 3 for each Trump vote wasn't enough, right? They realized that when Trump lost, and then the Biden election came up next, right? So that was where they said, oh, shit, we didn't cheat enough the last time. This guy got in. And there's even more support for the guy because he did absolutely fantastic. And they went off the rails, bro. They went so hard. They cheated 10-1, and it was so egregious. It was so egregious. We are now finding fact after fact after fact of fraudulent voting, of them clearing out the voting records like days after when they're supposed to retain these things for like 2 years and shit, like or longer, right? We're finding all sorts of it, dude. Just like there in Illinois, we were showing the video, cheating, bro. So I totally agree with you. They've been cheating in them all, man, since forever. That's why I used to be like, exercise your biggest right to not vote, right? We're all screwed. That's all, one big party, and, we're not invited. Both sides, they act like, they're going against each other. But, that famous picture of like, the three presidents on the boat or something. Oh man, the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, they're all buddies, It doesn't matter Democrat or Republican, but they over cheated, and it was so ridiculously egregious. It is going to be their failure. It's going to be their downfall, bro. We are not letting up on this one. And we got like 2.5, 3 years left to, Trump in here. If they don't do this, bro, I think the people are going to lose their shit. And we're all really, really loud. And we already have like a lot of examples of people go loud on X. And then all of a sudden the Trump admin picks it up and all of a sudden it happens. So I 100% think that we're going to get some sort of retaliation or like an end cap on this election fraud thing, bro.
I mean, we've been waiting a long time for it,
Right, bro? Them 4 years were rough.
Shoot, we're still going.
And so that's why
6 years now.
That's why Trump's motto, man, for this last election was make it too big to rig, bro. Because they went so wild, one would only imagine they were going to try and do it again, but they went so crazy and everybody talked about it so much during the Biden admin, bro, that they knew they couldn't even cheat that much for this one, bro.
Suckers.
That's why when you look at the graphs, bro, it was like this many people voted for first Obama. This many people voted Democrat for second Obama. This many people voted for Biden. This many people voted for Kamala. So the point is like, it was roughly about the same number, except Biden. So they were like, dog, like, we can't do that again, bro. They made that, what is it? 1,000 mules or 4,000 mules or whatever. Yeah, they made that movie. They made oh man, they're talking about it too much. We can't overcheat this time, guys. What are we going to do? Throw Kamala in as a throwaway candidate, bro. We're just going to eat it. We're going to lose this one, bro. I think they're on to us, man.
Oh, no. I think
that's my humble opinion. What do you all think, man?
I think they were still trying.
Right, but they knew they couldn't go overboard like that last one, bro. Like that shit, started looking kind of funny.
They're like, well, we're gamblers. We're going to gamble with this one.
Oh, dude. Here's the picture I was looking for when we were talking about the halftime numbers. This is what the graph looked like. So that's halftime, bro.
What a good little dip there.
That's crazy.
A massive dip.
So generally, I've heard the halftime show is a bump up because everybody wants to tune in to see whatever the big halftime show was, right?
Generally.
So like if you're not even watching the Super Bowl, the halftime show is a big deal. So people would usually flip it on when they weren't even watching the game.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to see, they've been talking and promoting this guy all the weeks.
You might not be a football fan, but you like entertainment.
Right.
You know?
And it's the talk of the town, who's performing at the halftime thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one left out and not be able to like, oh, I know I didn't see it. I can't talk about what everybody's going to be talking about at work on Monday.
So this is that graph showing that they lost about 22% of the audience, man. That's crazy. Absolutely wild, bro.
Shoot, makes sense if you ask me.
I agree, dog. Is he like they don't know the audience, man? And then this was
go woke, you go broke.
Ratings data from the sports report here for those who want to check it out. So got these links on the blog post where all the receipts for the shows are, folks. Go to the TrutherCast.com. You can search TrutherCast live, but links in the description box down below. Make sure to hit the follow button while you're down there because we would very much appreciate the support. That way you'll get notified the next time we go live next Monday night for the next TrutherCast. Make sure to get that follow button slapped.
Go woke, you go broke. Simple and fast.
But that's all I got for you, folks.
There should be another two little things in there. Another two. Mage, I realized I never posted it. Well, I had to download Rumble and Locals.
Bet.
While we were on here.
Gotta get the suite.
But I took a little trip up to Minnesota this week. Seen with my own two very eyes that there is still some hecklers out there. Right there.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah, the ice out. They might,
this is Dan footage.
Yeah, they're still out there, but as you can see, that's not really much of a full bridge. I mean, there's like 10 people if they're lucky. There's probably a couple that are off to the sides, whatnot, that weren't like super involved. But the tantrum children are still out there throwing tantrums in places. This wasn't the heart of it. It was on the outskirts of it, but you really can tell the second you cross from Minnesota into Wisconsin and back,
things feel weird.
Things feel different. You're just like, well, first off, it's dead around the Minnesota side. And then you go on to the Wisconsin side. It's just like, wow, like there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of business going on. Like things are popping. It's not for as big as the city was. There just really wasn't much going on.
Interesting.
And pretty quiet other than the sounds of sirens and crime and whatnot.
Interesting.
It had a type.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of people walking. They had a certain part of their body pierced with a bull ring on it. That was very common around.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of non-natural hair color while I was there, on the females specifically.
Honey, lock your doors.
There was one baddie with her normal hair color and looked like she might have a little bit of money, and I just I contained myself, but I was about to be like, I think I know who you voted for. I'm gonna guess, and also
call me crazy.
Props to that man. He is doing what he needs to do in a city like that. There was such a big rock on that finger, you could see it a block away.
Yeah.
He was like, this is the one last normal thing in blocks around. I'm locking it down. And he locked it down as best as there. He is trying to lock it down as best as he can.
Yeah.
Makes sense because there ain't much of it up there. It was very, very barren.
That's why.
And it just had a weird, slummy energy to it. But then you went across, the second you crossed into the border. That's the new one there, too. Yeah, you're just like, wow. Yeah, a lot of stuff's happening in Wisconsin. No wonder they're not broken stuff here. Like,
Interesting.
people are like working and, you know.
They're trying to take it down, bro. They got Madison and Milwaukee tainted.
Yeah, they're not out there.
They're trying to take down
attacking the ICE agents.
Wisconsin like they did Illinois, man.
Yeah, they're trying.
The wokeism, the deep state.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get got, but
yeah, no shoot.
That's your job as Wisconsinites watching this Illinois show to spread it to other Wisconsinites and make sure you guys go back to red.
Heck yeah.
Because you guys have switched off of red in the last couple of years. You guys are on your journey to. Hey,
don't let it go down like us, man.
Everybody, just plan one little trip. It's not that far for you guys. Take a little trip up into Detroit, right next door. Just take a little trip. Take a little trip over there one of these times and find out what Democratic leadership does to you after a couple decades.
You mean go visit the ghost of Wisconsin future?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Again. Yes.
Then you got an AOC one in here for us. Yeah, we didn't have any Dan comic reliefs, man. We got to get you posting again, bro.
Well,
I like the Dan comic reliefs throughout the week.
It's difficult when your phone doesn't exist for a day and a half at least. Basically.
We learned you didn't have the appies. Dang it.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll expect more next week.
I was already behind, and then having to redo on my phone that did not help the getting ahead of things at all. It really only put me behind a little bit more. But we're back on the tracks, could say, and now I can actually start feeding that steam engine the coal again and get her chooching. But yeah, that's basically because of her word salad there. I don't know if anybody's seen AOC's response to Marco's speech. That was amazing. She then made a whole word salad trying to find how she could make it sound to her followers that Trump and Rubio are bad.
Right.
They
like
bad.
how just contorted.
Yeah. And she was having a real hard time. So she basically made a word salad that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And it was just the regular why the young girls like AOC. Because it was just I can't even, you know what I'm saying? I just can't even. He's just horrible. And yeah.
Here we got a little piece.
You know, we look at what happened in Venezuela, for example. It is not it is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And
what did she even say, dude? They're just like arf-arfing over
you can't take a
no
bad
idea where
guy
she was
out
going, bro.
just because he's bad and we can. There was a border that needs to be respected. But you mean the border they didn't respect on dumping all the fentanyl and drugs over onto our side? You mean that border? Oh, yeah. So we just crossed the border like they crossed the line, and then we did what we felt like we wanted to do because he did what he felt like he wanted to do, even though it wasn't per se legal. So, yeah, treat your neighbor how you want to be treated. It's the story of Jesus.
Golden rule, folks.
Just the story of Jesus in the Bible. We just acted it out.
And then the funny part that everybody's roasting her about ever since, bro, is she said Venezuela was south of the equator. And as you can see on the map here, if you're not familiar, if you may have been ignorant of where Venezuela is located, it's above the equator.
You like how that's the only point she put in a little Venezuela like into her song. Like,
yeah,
I
and
know because
Maduro.
I can say it how a Spanish speaking person would say it. Ha! And well, you're really not backing up the people too much because you're making them look ignorant now.
And then
Like
also,
they're uneducated, like you bartender. Go back to slinging drinks. You were way better at it.
and then also she said something about like.
Actually, I can't say that. You might have made horrible drinks, probably.
Also, she said something about like Mexicans or like we wouldn't have had cowboys without Mexico or something, or like it doesn't have something to do with Spain. And so like also, so then people are like exclusive footage of AOC figuring out that the Spanish language came from Spain.
Yeah. Asmongold made a good point. Like, oh, screw the conquistadors then, right?
Right, right.
The total absolute badasses that came over and pretty much halfway started things too.
Right.
Or more
I think
like,
is this the
more
one
like
I'm thinking of?
forced Spanish culture into Mexican.
Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word on that. Rubio's speech was
Does she understand how English works? You didn't really, if you did pause, it wasn't enough of one to where I could assume there was a comma in there after the Mexicans to then go African slaves. But it sounds like you're saying African slaves came out of Mexico is what it kind of sounds like you're saying.
So confused.
So please elaborate.
pure.
Maybe we need to listen to it twice.
I obviously have no idea of history, and
maybe we didn't understand.
Africans came out of Antarctica. That's why they're so black, because it's so darn warm down there.
Maybe we need to listen to it again, bro.
To Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to.
Okay, so she's just dumb and didn't understand that he meant from Spain out of Mexico. She thought he literally meant that Spain cowboys just came directly over to America.
Did she just bring in the African slaves bit because, like, that's like their like racism in the blacks? Like, yes, that always stirs it up, right? So I got to bring them into it. Like, don't forget about the reparation.
She's making sure that
what do the African slaves have to do with the?
She's making sure that dark-skinned cowboys get their representation. There were dark-skinned cowboys too, did you know?
Doesn't make sense. Like,
Not
why?
really.
I just don't see the relevancy. I'm not trying to.
Wait.
I'm not trying to take anything away from the. Obviously, the slavery was shit. But why did you bring it up? It makes you look dumb.
Wait, AOC unveils her new plan for free energy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Definitely. Oh my goodness. Like, literally, she did and like, my favorite part of him, like the little laugh and everything, it's just like, and my brain just turned off because if I keep my ears open, I will lose IQ points. It will literally rip them from my brain because the words are so stupid. So I have to physically put a physical barrier in between the sounds of her voice box hitting my brain because it will damage it.
I agree, Mr. Niltemir. She's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I wanted to say she's giving the blondes a run for their money, but I don't want to. I'm not trying to take anything from blondes. They deserve it all in a good way.
Blinker? I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, but that was ridiculous. She's crazy.
Since I couldn't verify in the chat, I don't have the chat open about a blinker. if I were to hear
Yeah, I
the
don't
term
know.
blinker, that would be
Yeah.
you hitting it so long it blinks.
Conspiracy Logic says she must have leered this from public school. I agree. Seems like AOC was a top-notch student in the Leering Academy.
Somebody saying like she hit a blinker.
Niltamir said we all need cleaner blinker fluid too.
That's kind of funny because blinker fluid doesn't exist. But,
That I didn't get it. Me stupid.
we all need to clean our blink. We all need to make sure we're on top of refreshing our blinker fluid.
Right, yeah.
Especially those BMW drivers.
And then Niltamir says, so waitresses, call girls are running the D's party now. Sheesh. Right.
It actually
essentially
became such a joke in the auto industry about having to make sure to change your blink
it's like a thing to make fun of dumb people's.
Like if somebody doesn't use their blinker,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, you might want to change your blinker fluid, a-hole, you know, like they actually, it's the same brand. I know it's got to be like one company somehow maybe copyrighted it, but there's a main one that they legit took. They found the manufacturer who makes like bottles for brake fluid and shit, and ordered up a bunch of them and had labels, and then he designed a label that it looks like a real thing, but it says like dot whatever blinker fluid, and it comes filled with some sort of like water, just some crap solution, and you can buy it.
Yeah,
it's a buyable thing out there, and I've seen it quite a few auto shops.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's a good
the dude
joke.
has actually made money off a satirical.
There's a lot out there like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, see, unless you go out and claim that opportunity, it ain't just gonna come to you. So you shouldn't just get your lunch handed to you either by the government or us through taxes. Screw you. Go out there, pull some weight. If you can work, you need to work. If you can put some sort of productivity in the system, you need to. It's not fair if we're all paying and living in these benefits and you're not out there. Just like the one bad apple in the classroom, like you're gonna make everybody pissed off, and when you ruin it for the whole class.
And I agree.
Don't be that person.
That we should all be more creators than we are consumers, because we have gotten a little lazy in America, or some of us. But we must remember remind those lazy people that how we get here is production and creation and not laziness.
That is what has made America the best nation, that we have been the best creators.
Yeah,
and
no.
inventors.
Yeah, no.
That's what has driven
Visionaries.
America. Yeah. Everybody else consumes our product, which is why we're so rich. But everybody else is just becoming such consumers.
And then we became so
Mostly
rich
with your mouth
that we're the largest consumers of other nations' products.
Yep.
Complicated.
Essentially.
But that's all I got for y'all, folks.
Sorta. Yep.
Make sure to hit that join button. Get in the locals. You can sign up for the Truther Tribers Primo Squad, and you too could comment in the locals community, and then we'll cover that shit on the next show next week. So definitely sign up. But the biggest one we would ask you to do is hit that follow button. We're trying to double the viewership, hopefully before the year's over. We got a lot of year left. So let's bump that followers up. And you can also help by sharing the show. Share it out, man. Friend, family, maybe, coworker, somebody you know that might be into the show that maybe doesn't have a Rumble account yet, and you need to help them out, man. You need to help them build a better news feed, a competitor to YouTube. We do have YouTube, so if people refuse Rumble, you can help them out on YouTube too. It's TrutherCast over on YouTube, but Rumble right here, man, is the free speech platform. That's the home place for us. So share it out, help us boost them followers, man, and we can help bring more of the awareness to help more people find the realization, man.
Yeah, it's needed. There's a lot of realization awareness that is needed out there. It's a crisis. So,
on that note,
do your part.
You got the 2. You got the 1.
Yeah, late too. I just seen something about
like
What did I learn, Samir? What are you talking about?
All right, all right, all right.
All right.